Creating success out of failure. Creating success out of failure.
I'm Jonathan Federa. I'm here to inspire you to hustle and grow your income while doing what you love. Just because you have problems doesn't mean you can't prosper. Just because you have tragedy doesn't mean you can't triumph. Actually, you should be taking advantage of that.
There's positivity in my pain. I took scarcity and turned it into strength. I always tell lies, there's not much you can do to me where I won't make an obstacle an opportunity. We never lose, we only learn lessons. If you wanna change your perspective. If you don't know how to do that, we'll show you how right now. This is about to go down. You are tuning in to creating success out of failure. Creating success creating success out of failure. Out of failure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Creating Success Out of Failure. I am here with my lovely co-host, Jessica. Jessica?
Hello. I'm excited to announce our guest today because he's a good friend of mine, but also an amazing business owner. He owns Guardian Gutter Protections, which is a really awesome niche business. And he is just a funny person, a really good humored individual who loves to have fun and bring a lot of elements of fun into his business and his life. And I know he's going to bring the fire today and give us all the goodies on how he got so successful. So Dan Ward, welcome to the show.
What up? Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited about this. One, I follow both of you on social media and I've actually seen a few of the episodes. It's pretty fun. So I'm excited to share some conversations and stories. And I think I like this podcast the most because, as we all know, in this day and age, everyone's always it's so easy to get to seven figures and 8 figures, 9 figures, right? Everyone's a fucking millionaire nowadays, right? But we all know that it's not that easy. And
it's not true. It's not true.
You make it look easy.
Oh, it's not true. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
absolutely not.
It's like these people are trying to get to 7 figures. They can't even get close to 6 figures, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they're working their ass off like day in and day out. And then they see people like us who have like crafted a life that isn't just about the hustle, and we're making more money than they can, and they don't get how to do that. And I think it's because most people just put up all the good stuff that's happening in their lives, and they're not really talking about what it took to get there.
Well, here's my challenge with it. And Dan, then we're going to segue back, and I apologize for going off on a tangent here, but this is my problem with it. I don't care where you're at. I don't care if you make it 6 figures, you make it 7 figures, you have a 7-figure company, you have an 8-figure company. That's great. I want to see everybody truly successful and truly win. What I have a problem with are the guys that are making, 50 to 70,000, or the guys that are making 6 figures, acting like they're making 7 figures, and trying to teach people, coach people, and advise people how to get to 7 and 8 figures when they've never done it themselves. And I can tell you this, I've had several 7-figure companies. That doesn't mean that's what I'm making, right? Like you could have a 7-figure company and make $100,000. Or you could have a company that's doing $500,000 and you're pocketing $250,000. Who would you rather take advice from, right? So my challenge with everything is 1, the level of transparency, and 2, people teaching the wrong things and having people follow them because they're the loudest ones on social media.
Yep.
And that's why I feel so strongly about this and why we have certain guests on, because we want to know what happened to you, how you overcame it, and how you can add value to the listeners. Because if one person struggles with it, a lot of other people are struggling with it. And that's the premise for everything that we do here.
Absolutely. Love it.
So did you just wake up one day and own like a multi-million-dollar gutter company?
No, hell no. So it's actually very weird starting to the gutter conversation because I don't know. I didn't know shit about gutters. I really didn't know truly nothing about gutters. Right. And right when COVID, I guess it was right when the peak of COVID, this is actually right when we first started with Apex also. We had started other businesses in the past, and it's really easy to get knee deep in it and start a business, and you want to make the website, you want to do all this shit yourself, right? It's really hard to step away and take it from that architectural standpoint. Like here, I'm going to do the framework and have someone else come in here and kind of fill in the voids, right? So we wanted to get in the construction world, somehow like get in the construction industry, because at that moment in time during COVID, Home Depot and Lowe's, they were jam packed. And I was like, what the fuck? This is a great time to be in this, right? So there's that. And then in my conversation or in my thought process of like, how do we get into the construction world without me becoming, contractor Dan, right? That sounds terrible to say, but I didn't want to go sit before a board and take a contractor's license test and take a new career path or anything like that, right? So I don't know. The first thing I mentioned this to Thomas also the other day, as far as I always kind of think like, where are the franchises or what are the big dogs in any field, right? So if you look at like the contracting world, there's very few franchises, but there are some for like niche areas. Like there's a franchise for whatever plumbing. I think it's called Ben Franklin Plumbing or something like that. They're on time or whatever the fucking catch is. I don't know. Either way, so you find those and it's like, well, there's a franchise. I mean, there's systems in place. There's money to be made. So that kind of led me to the thoughts, and it kind of, I guess, got towards gutter protection. And there's not a ton of competition in gutter protection, but it's a $1 billion market, and it's a $1 billion market that one person pretty much made. So, for example, like Leaf Filter, there are competition, and where some people would run from them, I run to them. It's like these people are kicking ass every day, right? It's a $1 billion fucking company. And they're actually really and truly, they're more of a marketing company that just so happens that their end product is gutters, right? Because they're not selling you gutter protection. They're not selling you gutters. They're selling people, hey, picture this. You don't have to spend your weekends anymore unclogging your gutters. You don't have to, have your weekends back. So they've fine-tuned that craft. And I don't know, it kind of led me in that direction. It's a pretty smooth barrier of entry, but also at the same time, you're kind of competing against river rats too. So you have to kind of take that balance. I mean, for real, you got guys that'll do it for pennies. Like they will legit do a job for a hamburger pretty much. So you got to find that.
Rats.
You know what I mean? For real, you got to find that balance of like, okay, if you're going into anything that's got an easier barrier of entry, then you're going to be doing the bottom feeders, and that's okay as long as you stick to your guns and like you just divide the business up. Like, look, there is plenty of business for you to do your shit trash work, and we'll send it your way, buddy. But we're going to keep the premium. So yeah, that's. Oh, and also, I guess as far as that goes, with the gutter company, I guess that's kind of how I got there. It's more like I saw that there was an opportunity. There's not a ton of competition. I kind of like the fact that it can be built into a franchise model, which is what we're working towards right now. And from a high level overview, it's as simple as get in there, get your branding, get your marketing, get your revenue up, get your systems in place, do what you can to kind of lower your margins and kind of build the profitability into it. And then from that point, you start looking, okay, what can I do to manufacture my own product, right? And then as soon as you manufacture your own product, then it's game over. I mean, you can go into business to consumer, business to government, business to business, list goes on. You can franchise it, license it, go into distribution networks. And then you literally went from a conversation of, I don't know, gutters are kind of cool, I guess. There's some profit there to, oh, well, shit, I don't know. How much will we do this year, So
yeah.
Where are you located, Dan?
Arkansas.
Do you work everywhere or no?
So as of right now, we're just in Arkansas, but that's kind of the idea behind it.
Okay.
But the Arkansas market's about a $15 million market for this, which is insane.
It's amazing.
Cool.
If you can fine-tune your craft here in Arkansas and then take it elsewhere.
This is probably better for off the call, so maybe you give me a heads up. But when you start expanding, I have some really good resources for you. And one of my partners owns the largest home efficiency company in the South. And that would be a very, very, very good introduction for you, especially as you're growing and scaling. So
absolutely, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So
I just want the Florida
your company
market.
is pretty young, actually. So what was your background in before you ventured into this gutter world?
Yeah, so I was a slave to corporate America for a long time, and which I have no qualms to it. I kind of knew when I got into getting in corporate America, I'm kind of thankful that I did it. And I sometimes, well, here's the deal. Yeah. So for example, everyone goes to college nowadays, right? You got to go to college and check that box, right?
Which is a scam, but yes.
100%. So, which I took the scam for the bachelor's degree, and I thought, oh, so then I'm like, well, shit, I got this expensive sheet of paper somewhere up here. And then, corporate America's like, good job. Fucking, you're the man, Dan. You checked the box, bro. Well, come work for us and check some more boxes. And then if you get one more level up, get you a master's degree, then you're the fucking man. So I played that game, which I will go ahead and say, like, 6 figures in Arkansas is pretty much 7 figures everywhere else. It's a good standard of living, a lot of money. But yeah, so I guess like kind of take it back a little bit. I was in college, graduated, blah, blah, went to work for Darden Restaurants, which they own, like Olive Garden, Red Lobster, all those fucking restaurants. Huge ass company. It's a $1 billion company out of Orlando, Florida. I loved it. I was there for a very short stint because I realized real fast that I paid a shitload for a sheet of paper that I was making no money on. And even then I realized, I was like, oh my God, we have like 100+ employees. It's an $8 million building. It's a huge facility, and you're making millions of fucking dollars and you're getting paid pennies, right? So it didn't take me long to realize that. I was thinking, if you're making 100 grand a year, you're making nothing there for what they're making. So I went from there. I realized I didn't like management, wanted to get into sales because everyone knows that sales is where the fucking money's at, right? And so I took a step down, went and sold some paint, kind of cut my teeth in the bar, I guess they say, as far as that is. I learned the ropes in the world of sales through selling paint. It was a great job, made okay money. But the entire time I knew I wanted to get pharmaceutical sales because you get to wear a fucking suit and look cute, right? So sold. But I knew the whole time I wanted to either do like pharma or med sales because that was kind of the hot target. And also you kind of, it was pretty much a guaranteed 6-figure income. And it's, everyone pretty much grew up knowing that, I guess, too. So I spent a number of years in pharma sales, which is kind of like the stepbrother to being in actual sales. I wasn't truly in sales. I was kind of like more of a marketing guru than anything else. But either way, I enjoyed it. And I feel like in corporate America, what you can do is it allows you to, for example, it allowed me to see that I was making the same fucking money as someone that was there for 15, 20 years, right? So I was 24, 25 years old. And I'm like, man, I'm making a lot of money. And it's like, this guy's like, yeah, I've been here for 15 years. And I'm like, so you're making like double what I'm making, right? Or a shitload more. And it's like, no, I'm about the same. So right then I was thinking, wow, do I want to sell 15 years of my life to be in the same position, But I do think that you can get in there and you can kind of build your network up. You can get yourself around some people that are in positions better than yours as far as in life.
That's one of the things I talk about the most, right? Is helping entrepreneurs escape their corporate life and gain freedom. And part of the freedom is having limitless income potential, because in corporate America, you're completely stuck. You can only grow so much. And there's something really alarming about that. And like you, I was like, I'm not doing this for the rest of my life. Now I have control over how much money I can make, right? But it's kind of a scary leap to take. So I'm interested to hear, like, at what moment did you think, like, F this, I'm just going to go totally crazy and open a company and see what I could do? Because that's a scary moment. And no matter how much we prep ourselves in corporate America, I don't think any of us are ever fully ready for that, like, crazy leap. It takes a bunch of insanity to get there. So what happened that led you there?
Yeah. So 2 things. This is one thing real quick. I'll never forget that. And I'm sure we've all seen this. So in corporate America, or really any massive company you work for, you always go to conferences or whatever meetings, right? And I swear to God, I've heard it a million times. I know you have too. They're always like, hey, they paid that jackass like 15 grand to come speak here. Oh, no. Or, oh, dude, they paid so-and-so. They paid this training company 25 grand to come in here and teach us whatever, the Challenger sale or something, right? And they were all like enamored. And I was like, fuck, I want to be that guy, And I realized real quick, it was like, which I'm not that guy as far as I don't go train people or anything to that effect, but it's like, dude, this is some guy that came in here for one day and made 10 grand teaching you dipshits how to sell with a book he didn't write. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And then you think, well, okay, I guess that's a lot of cash, but not really when you consider this is $1 billion company. So that's just a drop in the bucket to them. So then I always thought, like, well, fuck, what's stopping me from doing that? So anyway, that was the first part I wanted to cover. And then as far as, I feel like COVID should have been the great reset for so many people, right? Everybody's sitting at home, probably not halfway fucking working if they were still for corporate America, right? You're not really in the field doing anything. You're not really selling anything. They might still be paying you. They might not be paying you. And which I I feel like everyone's kind of finding out now as they're bringing people back in the offices, they were 100% just a fucking number, right?
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care if you got food for your kids. And people are finding that stuff out now. So, and it's actually going to get worse because I feel like as we're kind of coming out of all this COVID stuff and they have brought people back in, they're going to 100% start chopping heads at corporate America just to make the numbers look better. They'll start doing a few acquisitions here and there. It'll level out over the next 2 or 3 years or so. But I mean, I'm telling you, it's going to be an apocalypse as far as they're going to wipe people out. The same ones they were going, let's, help me rebuild the company, guys. It's been a tough past year. Let's go out there and sell like crazy. Let's cut your, we're going to raise your quotas to the roof. You're going to work your ass off. You're going to make us all kinds of money. And then magically a year from now, those same people are going to be unemployed. So
Yep. As inflation begins to ramp up, by the way.
Absolutely.
People don't realize that. I post all the time. People ask me what to do. I tell them what to do. Check back in a month or two, just I'm curious. Nobody did shit.
Yep.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
Absolutely. So yeah, I would also, as far as when I got out of corporate America, I've always had, a handful of income streams. I've always kind of built up. I never wanted to have like the golden handcuffs, right? Where somebody can walk in, you're shit canned and you're out of luck. Like everything is like, oh, it's terrible. Cause that's one thing I feel like over the past, I don't know, 5 or 8 years or so, I've realized it's pretty easy to build a few income streams here and there that are paying decent. And then it doesn't take long to get those income streams to kind of match or replace your income stream. Right. And I told myself, I was like, look, I guess I'll just do this gutter thing until I really kind of get tired of corporate America. And then didn't take long. Actually, it was really because I had too many kind of investments and irons in the fire. And it was probably costing me money to do anything with corporate America at that point in time. Anyone can do that. Like everyone has that same opportunity. I'm not like a fucking genius. I'm not like a rocket scientist over here. I'm just your average Joe. I've hit a few really good licks in life. And yeah.
So let's talk about you starting up the gutter company. What were some of the challenges you faced when you started that?
Well, I was,
like how much did you have saved? How much did it cost you to start, if you don't mind? Like, and then what shit piles did you step in along the way? Because I can tell you that me being in my space and having everything dialed in, I still walk on landmines every single day.
Yeah, I was gonna say I step in shit piles every morning pretty much. And I think the kicker is that when you hear about people starting businesses, it's almost like it's a shell shock, even though they hear it their whole life. I mean, it's one of those things where I had the mindset of let's fail fast. I don't give a fuck. I went into this thinking which I think we probably started with about 50K capital as far as that I put in. It's gone up drastically since, but yeah, but and past ventures also, it's one of those things where I don't know. I guess they have a mindset nowadays where really I have a conversation every day where people are offering like, oh, hey man, I got capital. It's like, well, I don't need it, man, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. It's like, if you have that business venture, if you have that going on, you're doing something right, but weirdly enough, there wasn't a whole lot of hurdles. I guess maybe I have failed a shitload before though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess it makes any sense. I kind of already knew damn near the blueprint of getting it all set up, going. I think the hurdles would probably be for the average Joe. It's just kind of fresh out of the gate, wanting to kind of get their business off the ground. I don't know. I find it as almost a no excuse. It's like, dude, you should damn near be a marketing expert. I say that like, not like, hey, go fucking sell courses doing it, but you know what I mean? The three of us probably know a hell of a lot about marketing and how to find your client and how to get your leads in. But that doesn't mean that I'm, a lead gen expert. It's just that you got to know where those things are coming from. What's your cost per customer acquisition? So going into it, I think we were kind of lucky that I had already done the groundwork on that with other ventures and such in the past,
And before we got on this call, you and I were talking about actually mail marketing, as in snail mail. And I think, a lot of businesses, I can relate to that because I own some brick and mortars, but I think a lot of businesses nowadays are not even familiar with the concept of that and how actually effective it could be in certain markets. And I think construction and, what you're in and what I'm in, those are markets where snail mail is still very effective. So how did you muscle test that? Because for us, in my business, we did a lot of marketing. We were actually shocked when we got the most bang for our buck in
Yeah.
snail mail.
Yeah. So on that, it's kind of funny, which I have a marketing fucking company every day. Everyone can run your business for you better than you can, right? I mean, you got someone, this sounds super, super douchey, but this is the kind of mindset you have to have. I feel like you got to watch out because they know the best thing for you, right? Like they're like, I'm telling you, Dan, like it's $3,000 or whatever, $5,000. And dude, we're going to get you, it's going to turn into $20 million, whatever hell it is, it's sad because for me, it's comical. I'm like, well, that number, you're making numbers up really, you're going off of impressions or whatever. Like, I don't know. But a lot of people don't do that. So a lot of people get pissy when they pay for marketing companies to do lead generation. It's like, dude, it's your responsibility to know your customer. It's your responsibility to know where your market's at. You can use them as like an ancillary service to get you in front of them, but it's your responsibility. It's not their responsibility. But yeah, so as far as like the snail mail conversation, we've done direct mailers in the past. We actually have a printing company, so that works out pretty well as far as it's extremely cost effective for us. And I do enjoy the Everdoor direct marketing if done correctly, because you can hyper focus, like you can legit just find your zip code data that you want to go to. And we've done that numerous times. Every time you do it, it always is a conversation of, okay, we're going to throw out 5,000 darts and let's see how many stick. And we go into it knowing it's going to be an extremely low rate of return as far as like we send out 5,000 mailers, you get 20 phone calls and you close 5 of those deals, right? But those 5 deals are worth 3,000 a piece. So whatever, 15,000 or so revenue off of a $600 to $800, ad campaign. So either way, we've done that numerous times. We haven't done this exact version, which is the one you see like on Sunday mornings. I send it to you in a big pamphlet of, it's on the counter pretty much. But that is our target audience. And the companies we've been working with, there's 2. I think they'll be able to somewhat keep it semi-targeted. I know it's kind of a blanket approach to things. And when they set those regions up, they also do that to like, for example, here in Arkansas, they're like, well, you get Arkansas you get Little Rock and then all these shitty towns below, but you get 180,000 houses. And that sounds great. You're getting all these impressions. But again, it's like, I know for a fact that it would be more of a headache to deal with the other, 75% of those people. It's like, that's not the people itself. It's just like those areas, if they're either low income possibly, or those are the ones we just don't have very good close rates at. So why even waste the effort?
Well, that goes back to your point, which I completely agree with. And I tell this to people who I do consulting with is this is not a task that you should be delegating right away. I feel like in the infancy of your company, it is important, even if you're not a marketing expert or you don't enjoy the marketing aspect, it is so important to get a feel for who is ideal for your company, who is an ideal client, where they live, what income they make, what, their geographical area is, all of those things. Because if you don't know that, no company that you hire is going to come in and figure all that shit out for you. Like you got to have that in hand to make the most of the alignment eventually when you give away, the marketing aspect of your company. To make the most out of that relationship, you need to give them that information, that underlying foundational information for the clients. And so many people just want to offload that as soon as they open up a company because they don't like it or they don't get it or they can't concentrate on it. And it's a huge mistake for the reason that you just said. It's just as important to know who is not your client.
Yeah. And you don't have to spend your way to get there either. Like everyone might think, well, we'll learn eventually. Hey, it's going to cost a little bit of money to get you there, but we'll get that, kind of like if you're doing a Facebook ad, I know as far as I've done numerous where it's kind of like you set your ad up, you kind of throw it out there, see who bites, retarget, et cetera. Right. So that's kind of the new mindset for every part of marketing. Like, hey, you know what? Let's just throw it out there, test the waters on your fucking dollar. Right. And if it works, then yay, we did a great job. If it doesn't work, it's your fault for not knowing the customer and where we send it out to. Right.
Yep.
So you can just go ahead and bypass all that shit. I'm not interested in that. And here's the deal. Like, I don't know, as far as all of these things we're talking about are 100% free. You can get all that data. Like, let's say, for example, if you don't want to take the effort and use half of your fucking brain to go to Google and figure it out, right? You can literally just find where your local small business association, as far as I think it's the Small Business Resource Center, I think they call them nowadays. They're usually located at your local university or somewhere in the larger city. Send them an email, get a hold of them, give them a call, and they will pull all the data for you. They have access to all these resources for the feds, right? So they can get you down to the level of like, hey, people in Maumelle, Arkansas are watching these TV commercials. And I know it sounds kind of nuts, right? But if you're looking through the data and you're like, okay, well, everyone over here is watching Judge Judy. Well, that comes on at 7:00 in the morning on Saturdays. Okay, it's probably an older clientele. It might be mine, right? What's it going to cost to run a TV commercial at 7 in the morning on Saturdays? Oh, I don't know, $200. Well, then why run them the rest of the week, right? Just run that commercial Saturday morning. You get 10 phone calls of a $200 commercial turned into $30,000 revenue. Boom, done deal. Did your homework,
Yeah.
Yes, people don't want to take the time to do that. And that's a sad thing. I think like one of the most important things you can do at the onset of opening a business is really sit down and dial into what you need to absolutely be in control of and what you can delegate without harming the overall health of your company.
Absolutely.
And marketing is not something you need to delegate right away. It's so important to just learn and learn what would work to and make an angle that's unique, because these marketing companies, they're marketing for hundreds of companies. They're not looking at you as like a unique business. You need to put your spin on it and, carve out your niche and hook the client with something different. And you're probably not going to get that from most marketing companies that are cold calling you.
No.
Right. Yeah. They got some email list. They just got, this person just filed for an LLC. We're going to call them up, see if they need any help.
Yep. We've all been the target of those.
Yes. Yeah. So I feel like, I don't know, I know I take an obsessive approach to most things, but that's probably why I've had a lot of success. And I'm sure the same thing goes for you. And where most people would say it's obsessed, I enjoy it. It's fun. I think it's, I don't know, just kind of geek out on that kind of stuff,
Yeah, me too. I love you. You're just so fun and energetic, and I just appreciate your perspective so much. And I want you to tell everybody where they can find you, because they should be followed. First of all, Dan has exciting social media content that doesn't involve gutters. He posts a lot about his fun life, including his new llama pod, Pedro or Pablo?
Pablo, yeah. Pablo, yeah.
So you should follow him just purely for that alone. But no, you need to check out his company too and see all the amazing things that he does and mimic, his take on marketing, because he is a very good marketer. So where can they find you?
Yeah. So I'm pretty much on all social media channels. It's always The Real Dan Ward. And the beauty of it is the Real Dan Ward. As far as I'm 100% the same person now. If you ever meet me in person, same thing. There's no fluff here. There's no bullshit. If you come to me and give me your random business idea and it sucks, I'm probably going to tell you that's terrible, or you might want to take it back. I feel like I hear that every day. Someone's got something that is a great idea for poverty, but like, hey, if your life, if you enjoy it now, man, it's fixing to get really shitty doing that business idea. Yeah. So I do appreciate you having me on. It's been great. I don't know, as far as I hope that in the world of the entrepreneurial mindset, the biggest thing is I would say fail fast, right? When you agree, as far as get those away.
Fall forward faster.
That's it. It's going to happen. And if you're trying to avoid it, you're just, I don't know, you're pushing it off or something, because it's going to happen. You're going to have whatever, you're going to forget to pay fucking taxes on something. You're going to get charged too much on something. I don't know. The list goes on, but those things happen, and they can either happen with the outcome being a hell of a lot better lifestyle, or you can play the safe game, I guess, and chain yourself to some other company that you're going to make them millions of dollars. You're just a number to them, and they're going to keep pushing their 401ks or whatever their retirement plans are off. All you got to do is just give up, I don't know, 30 years of your life to get that.
Your entire life. Give up your life for this 401k package.
And if you screw up one time, we're going to fire your ass in a heartbeat, and all that goes away. So not interested.
Love that message. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yay.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. And I'm sure we'll connect later. I just followed you on Instagram. Guys, if you got something out of this, and I know you did, first off, follow Dan. And second, leave us a review and share this episode with someone that is trying to leave their 9-to-5 and build a business for themselves. And then after you do that, you should connect them with Jessica, because that is what she specializes in.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely. Pivot and slay. Woo.
Creating success out of failure. Creating success out of failure.
Thanks for tuning in to Creating Success Out of Failure. Please share this with someone that needs to hear it, post it on social media, and leave us a 5-star review. I'll catch you on the next one.
Creating success out of failure.